A very brief summary of the Aggañña Sutta, where the Buddha preached about the origin of the world and the origin of humanity. This particular sutta is exactly where the Buddha explained how humans first came into existence. 1. The reformation of the world. After the world is destroyed, a new world continuously arises again and again as a cycle. At that time, beings descend from the Abhassara Brahma realm, the realm of radiant light. 2. The earliest beings. They were beings without physical bodies, possessing only radiance, fragrance, and a mind. They needed no physical food and were nourished solely by their own brilliant light. 3. The savory earth. As the world gradually develops again, a savory mushroom-like essence appears on the surface of the earth. Initially, out of curiosity, these beings take a small taste of it. 4. Physical transformation. As they continue to consume this food over a long period, their bodies acquire mass and become somewhat solid. They become denser, firmer, and physically differentiated. 5. Gender division. Initially, these beings were entirely genderless. Later, with the solidifying of their bodies and the arising of desire, male characteristics and female characteristics developed. This is when the distinction of man and woman first began to appear. It wasn't that just one or two individuals were suddenly created as the first humans, because even today it is scientifically proven that genetic diversity is essential. Otherwise, diseases and genetic weaknesses in the lineage will increase. If a generation originates from the exact same genes, humanity would naturally face extinction. This is a common phenomenon for both humans and animals alike. The world is a cycle that is eternally destroyed and eternally reborn. Beings continuously revolve within this causal process forever. Men and women developed separately due to food, physical development, and desires. It is an important fact to understand that even today we can clearly observe physical changes in human bodies based on their dietary patterns. The sutta explicitly states, humans are not something created by someone. They are simply described as beings who are repeatedly reborn, driven by the power of karma within a cycle of destruction and evolution. How evolution is described in the Buddha's Aggañña Sutta versus the scientific theory of evolution. According to the Aggañña Sutta, evolution did occur. However, it is not a linear process like the scientific theory of evolution. It is a cyclical process. Beings descended from the Abhassara Brahma realm. Their physical bodies formed along with the consumption of food and the arising of desires, leading to the development of male and female characteristics. This is when the distinction of man and woman first began to appear. Subsequently, with the emergence of various conflict-driven situations, a structured society was established. Evolution in science is based on DNA and environment. Evolution in Buddhism is based on karma and the causal law, cause and effect. Modern science relies on things that are practical, measurable, and testable through experiments. It takes a massive amount of time to discover information. Buddhism speaks of the ultimate truth, Paramartha Dhamma. It is not merely a new or religious sermon, but profound insight into the natural causal law. The uniqueness of the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha didn't preach by conducting modern scientific experiments. Rather, he perceived the causal law through supreme cognitive power and ultimate wisdom, abhiññā and paññā. A few examples. Destruction and reformation of the world. This aligns with the Big Bang and Big Crunch theories. Beings evolving based on food and environment. This aligns with evolution. Mind, climbing, consciousness, and dependent origination, citta, upadana, vijnana, and paticca samuppada. This aligns with modern psychology and neuroscience. The universe continuously existing as subatomic particles. This aligns perfectly with quantum physics. Key points to understand. Science builds its foundation in slow motion through continuous experiments. Buddhism has already provided the answers, clearly showing that science will eventually discover this in the future. This is precisely why many great scientists, like Albert Einstein, stated, if there is any religion that could cope with modern science, it would be Buddhism. It is obvious that science will continue to discover newer things in the future. However, the Dhamma taught in Buddhism is the universal truth. Science is simply the process of uncovering that exact truth, little by little. The Buddha preached the ultimate universal law. Science is simply on a path to slowly verify it. Certain concepts, for example, the vast multitude of diverse worlds, rebirth, and the consequences of karma, are still beyond the measuring capabilities of modern science.